Hello, Facebook.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, it's been such a long break. We missed you
Yes.
guys.
Well, let's get the ball rolling.
Yes, guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Spilling the Tea. I'm Chasmar.
And I'm Jazzelle, bringing the topics you want to hear.
From the people you want to hear them from.
Yes, God, honey.
Yes, it's been a long time coming.
It has. It has been a long, long, long time. We've been gone for so long. We took that long hiatus. And now we back to bring you the topics and all the good, juicy stuff that goes on in our community.
Yes. So we're ready for it. Season 2. We are ready. We got some very exciting guests coming on today. We have some very exciting guests coming on for the rest of this season. The guests are amped about being here. We're excited to give the community what it is that they want to hear. And it's go time.
Yes. And since that long break, we have so much going on in our community, especially within the Black LGBT community. Let's talk about Black Gay Pride.
Yeah, but before we get to that,
what's up?
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks to Monty McCoy. He always makes me absolutely beautiful. And speaking of Monty McCoy, they just had a show on Wayo 104.3 called Brunches with the Brunch with the Bunch. Yes, God. Not only is he on there, but my sister, my beautiful sister Janelle, along with my Virgo sister Tamara and Dee.
Yes.
So, yes.
So you guys are ready.
Yes.
So just a recap on everything since we've been gone. The summer was great. The spring was great. We had Rochester Gay Pride. It was a very good turnout. I love to see the mixture of the crowds. Normally when we go out to Rochester Gay Pride, there's not a heavy Black presence there, and that's something that bothers me because that's what I'm about. That's what my team is about. But this year, I would say it was a really big turnaround.
Yes, and let's talk about Big Frida. Big Frida won
Black Gay Pride. Black Gay Pride.
Big ups to Adrian for putting that whole show together. I know he's resting. He's rejuvenating himself for all coming next year. It's going to be bigger than ever. And speaking of which, we have a big party on December 9th. I know it's a long way from now, but it really is not.
Yes.
And it was called the Next Caller Tour.
Yeah.
With T.S. Madison and Kaya, and hosted by Kelly, I believe.
Hosted by Kelly.
Yes,
and Peaches will be performing, someone local, and she's really on the move. So I want you guys to really support her in every endeavor that she does because she's really going to be out there putting us on the map. She reps Rochester and she reps the East Side down. So y'all make sure y'all go and y'all show her love. When she come out with that album, make sure y'all cop that. Don't bootleg my girl. Don't bootleg my girl.
Oh my God. But let's speak about what's currently going on right now, not only in our community but in the world. First of all, let's do a big ups to pray for Puerto Rico. Let's pray for Puerto Rico. What's going on right now in Puerto Rico is absolutely devastating.
Yeah. I'm
half Puerto Rican, so I know that I'm not in depth with my culture, but I know it is a hard thing to they have no electricity. They have nothing. The island is completely devastated. So everybody keep this in your prayers. And I know there's a GoFundMe account going on right now. So please, anything you can do, please send it out.
$1, anything.
Yes, God. Yes,
anything.
yes.
Anything. It sucks that, that our people, because they are our people, are going through such a tragedy. And, we definitely need to extend our arms and give blessings where due. And because we're blessed to be where we are, and we're not going through anything like that, so we should definitely lend a hand and make sure that our people can still stand.
And just a quick recap: not only did some positive things happen, some negative things happen during this summer as well. We also lost a trans person this summer within our own local community.
Yes.
Chasmar Red did pass away this summer. And not only was he probably the 20th, but I believe this was a 21st trans person that also was killed actually maybe a couple days ago. And Allie Steinfeld, I believe. So let's, do a quick moment of silence for them real quick. Okay, yes, God. Yes, God. It's such a pivotal thing that already, I'm a trans person, so for people of the trans community losing their lives over just the most ridiculous nonsense, to me it hurts my heart. So, yeah.
So it's very important, just to piggyback on that. It's very important to love on each other and love one another, and and spread love, because we go through so many things, and people think that just because we're in the gay world that we have
less than, or we don't have feelings,
or we have unique situations. We're going through the same stuff that everybody else goes through. Domestic situations, all types of stuff goes on within our community. So just just love on each other.
And just to piggyback on that, I forgot my whole train of thought. No, I was gonna say, you guys, if you guys are watching, please let us know that you're watching. Let us know your opinions. Our topic's about to begin right now, and if you have anything to say, if you just want to say hi, just say, oh hey, how you doing? Please tune in. Please comment. We will love your comments. Thank you.
Yep, and just make sure you guys go ahead and share share the video, and we'll be serving you guys every week and giving you the topics that you want to hear. This is our thing.
Yes, God. So speaking of the LGBTQ plus community, one of the topics today is something that I think has been across all our minds, and not only has been a consistent controversy within our community, but the whole argument between were you born gay versus if you was influenced to be gay. I mean, I know it's a topic around the world. A lot of times cisgender, straight, heterosexual, straight, cisgender people believe that a lot of times, gay people were just decided to one day just to wake up and put a penis in their mouth or whatever, have you go on, whatever.
Right.
But some people don't believe that, and so that's one of the topics today. And to help us discuss that topic today,
we have a really, really special team coming out today to help us, let us know their experience as far as being born this way or being influenced.
Yes.
The leader of this team, I kind of want to give a special shout out. He's been in our community, in the Western New York community, for, I would say, a little over a decade now. When I came out, he was someone that was very important within the Buffalo community. His name always rings bells. When I met him, he was one of the leaders in the House of Patrodi. He furthered that with going into leading his own house, the House of Jacobs, and now he's still reigning within our community, leading the baddest crew in Western New York, the Bad Boys Club. So y'all give them a shout out, and here we go. We got the Bad Boys Club here.
Hey. What's going on, everybody?
First Lady Mickey Moscato, First Lady Rochester, Bianca Castro, with Halston, Tajay, Carlos.
What's going on, Facebook?
Yes, God. Try to squeeze on in. I know.
We
Come on, squeeze in. What y'all drinking over there?
We got some better.
We got a bottle of rosé. For y'all, one for y'all, one for us. We're trying to get lit.
Yes.
For the interview. What's up, Facebook?
Let's get them all in here. Let's get the whole family in here.
We here. That's what y'all wanted. We hear what's going on. I just want to start out by saying thank you so much for having us. And also having this amazing platform. It's not often that our community gets an opportunity to express themselves and articulate themselves in this type of form. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for having us.
Absolutely.
We're excited. We're ready to spill the tea. We're ready to talk some shit.
We're ready to spill the tea, drink the champagne.
Y'all switch studios so we can cuss now. It's lit. We too lit right now.
So yeah, we can rock out.
Lit.
So what y'all want to talk about?
Well, first of all, let's do an individual 1, 2, or everybody.
Let the people know who you guys are.
Starting with John. They kind of know you.
I mean, it's cool. I'm John, Jonathan, whatever you want to call me. A lot of people call me Cooper. I'm one of the leaders of the Bad Boys Club. Shout out to the Bad Boys Club. We have a couple of different chapters. We have one in Ohio. We have one in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have a chapter in Toronto. And, of course, the one here in New York where we go between Buffalo. And now we're bringing it to Rochester. It's going to be under the direction of Halston and Bianca. So you guys can expect a lot of big things in Rochester from these two. They're motivated, they're driven, and they're ready to just produce some successful events and for us to be able to come and turn up and have a good time. But yeah, I'm here. I got them. I'll let them do a lot of talking too. So y'all could go ahead.
Miss First Lady.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Moscato. I'm sure y'all already know who I am. But if you don't, I'm a dancer, bottle girl, rapper, model, whatever you know, I'm just around. It's lit. Wherever I am, you know, the party is, you know, I have no filter. I'm just ready to turn up, you know. Shout out to my boys, bad boys, you know, they all my boyfriends and my husbands, you know, I got them war, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we about to get lit. Oh, yes, Pa. So, it's lit, and I'm just happy to be here, so thank y'all, you know.
No, you're absolutely welcome, my love.
Go ahead, y'all, get it.
Carlos.
What's up, everybody? My name is Carlos, also known as Santana.
Santana.
Yeah, I'm the rookie of the group right now.
Right.
Rookie.
Well, we don't count you out, Pa.
We don't count you out.
All right. But I
Okay.
ain't new to this. I'm true to this.
Okay, that's right.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah,
My
get
turn.
it up.
I'm Taj. Well, the Taj, actually.
That's how.
Yeah, we got some exciting stuff.
Okay.
I'm here.
What is your position in Black and Bad Boys?
I'm in charge of marketing and branding.
Marketing and branding. Very important job. Yes, God.
Yeah, this is definitely
Absolutely.
very important.
Yes, God. I love it. Austin.
Hello, I'm Halston. I'm the chief officer of Bad Boys. I enjoy being with these people. This is not just a company. This is actually a family.
Right.
Second family to me. You know, family is everything. Blood can make the city thicker. So.
Right.
Right, I agree.
Love it.
All right.
I almost cried. That was touching. Ooh.
What's up, everybody? It's the Queen.
Oh.
Damn.
I'm First Lady Bianca of Bad Boy, and thank you so much for having us, and I'm really excited.
Oh, no way. We are excited. We are excited to have the littest crew of Western New York.
Say it again.
I show spilling the tea. They brought liquor. I
I said we ready to spill the tea and drink the champagne.
So one of our topics that we having today, and we decided, you know, guys, to be the guest, is born this way versus being influenced. I know part of being the LGBT community, I know me as an individual, I feel like I was born the way I am, and that is how it is. But I know some people have different point of views or different experiences, and I just wanted to have like a open and candid discussion with you guys and on you guys' own experiences in that kind of light. So, starting with John, what do you feel?
Wow. I guess for me, like articulating this has always been something that's super difficult because I was raised in the church, so it's always been a battle for me because in church you're trained and you're taught that, you know, being gay or being homosexual is not of God. But I'm the type of person that believes that I was created perfectly in His image.
Right.
So my relationship with God has become way more spiritual and less about religion, if that makes perfect sense. Like I'm way past like the doctrine. I'm way past the text, and it's all about like how I feel like God is moving me, what direction He's taking me, like what way He wants me to go, and which way He's directing me. So for me, I definitely feel like I was born this way. I feel like I was created this way, and I don't believe that God makes mistakes. And that's just my, you know, those are, you know, my beliefs and my opinions. But like I said, it's very difficult, and I know that there are so many people in our community who are raised in the church, especially like African Americans, because the church is like the forefront of our culture.
Absolutely.
So it's difficult. It's difficult, and me and Tajay were having a conversation yesterday about the importance of like people supporting our community and how there are not that many people that really support us or even really try and take the time to understand. It's kind of like they just count us out or like they look at us like it's something wrong with us. And I feel like if we really believe that we are born this way, we have to stop hiding. Right. We have to stop, you know, looking for equality and demand respect because we're humans. Right. And I think that's where we have to start drawing the line. Fuck your equality. Fuck being equal with you. I'm equal because I can stand ground. I can hold my own. Respect me. I don't give a fuck what you feel, how you feel about me, what your religion says. Respect me as a man. Respect me as a black man. And then if you want to respect me as a black gay man, that's fine. But Either way, respect me.
Right.
You don't have to count me as your equal, but respect me. And I feel like our community, and we have to start demanding respect. We have to stop telling people what we can and cannot do, where we can and cannot go. We have to demand that respect.
Right.
And that's really like my take on it. Like, and when you guys told me this topic, I thought that was so amazing because like, it's time. It's really, really time for us to live in our authentic truth. Like, we have to really begin to polish our authentic selves and live in our truth. And not just say we're living in our truth, but, you know, we switch it up when we're around certain people.
Right.
And we do this in front of other people.
Right.
We really have to start
No
being
boundaries.
ourselves. Yeah, no limits, no boundaries. Be yourself, live in your truth. And then that's when the respect will come, because a lot of people feel like, well, I mean, that's him. I got to respect him for being him.
Right.
And that's where that comes from.
Right.
That's my take on it.
So as far as
real quick, if you guys have any questions for the Bad Boy team, please comment. I'm sure they will love to have the.
Oh yeah, we prepared.
We
We're prepared. So whenever you gonna tell us,
But
we
let me
gonna
tell
talk.
you this.
Okay.
Don't try it.
chime in at any time.
I second that.
Chime in at any time. If you have
Listen,
any
because you come for one of
questions.
us, you come for all of us.
Yes, God. So real quick, Mickey, like, should I say Mickey or you want me to
No,
hold
Mickey.
fine?
No, Mickey's fine.
Fine.
Yeah, Mickey's
As
fine.
far as where you stand on it, I mean, I don't know. Do you define yourself underneath the LGBT spectrum? or-
Absolutely. I'm a bisexual female. I've been with men. I've been with women. But my thing is, I don't really look at gender. I'm a vibe person. If I like your vibe, it doesn't matter what you have between your legs. I like to be respected. I like to be loved. I like to be taken care of and, you know, respected, like John said. So it really doesn't matter who you are or what you are. I was always scared to come out as a bisexual female. Like even to my family, and then when I did come out, they were like, "Girl, we was waiting for you to come out the closet. We knew what was up. Like we seen you around too many females, too lovey-dovey, so we already knew." And they accepted me, and I was just very happy with that. And like John said, the type of person I am, anybody who knows, it's either you hate me or you love me, because I have no filter. I say what I want, I do what I want, and that's just what it is. And either you're gonna respect it and like me, or you're gonna respect me and not like me. But either way, you are gonna respect me, like John said. And that's why I feel like I compare myself a lot to Cardi B off the simple fact that how people, like John said, like, you don't gotta like somebody, but you have to respect them for just being themselves. And that's how Cardi B is. She didn't care. Like, look at her. She has the #1 song, you know what I'm saying? And she was just a regular stripper who everybody looked at as just a stripper, but everybody respected her because she was who she was, regardless of where she was in the industry. You know what I'm saying? She didn't let that change her. So that's how I feel. But everything John said, basically, he you know, he said it all.
As if, do you feel like you was born this way, or do you feel
Absolutely, I do feel like I was born this way. I don't feel like being gay can be taught. That's just how I feel. You like who you like, and it doesn't matter if it's of the same sex, of the opposite sex. Who you like is who you like. And what I don't like is like what John said. Like, I don't like Bible thumpers who look at people that are gay as a sin, but yet I bet half of them had sex before marriage. That's a sin as well. A sin is a sin. It doesn't matter which sin it is.
And alcoholics and all types of stuff.
Exactly. My thing is, I don't get how gambling is a sin, but yet we have bingo in church halls. That makes no sense to me. So at the end of the day, I don't.
That makes sense. She make a good point.
I'm sure everybody disrespected their elders or their mothers or fathers. Those are all things that you're not supposed to do. And so if you're gonna look at me wrong for being gay, then you wrong too. So
Right.
I mean, we can judge each other, but I don't care to judge anybody because how people live their life doesn't affect me. So like John said, you ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta respect what I'm doing, but you're gonna respect me in my face. And
Right.
that's just that.
Right.
Or it's a rundown.
How about you, Bianca, as a openly trans woman?
A cute one. Let me just throw that out there. Go ahead, Mom.
Thank you. I definitely feel I was born this way. Like every trans woman, I believe, at least in my experience, I was born this way. I think the only thing that influenced me was the people around me, influenced me to have a backbone, influenced me to be who I am regardless of what others think. I think that's the only thing that influenced me. No one influenced me to be trans. I didn't wake up one day and see Jazzelle and was like, oh, she taught me to be a tranny or trans. It doesn't work like that. I was born this way. I knew what I was at a very young age. And the people, of course, me influenced how I transitioned and how I wanted to look. I have an image in my head of how I want to be, one of the dolls. So definitely my community influenced how I transitioned, but not why I transitioned.
Can I ask a question? So
you're gonna host?
No. So Bianca, this is something that I've always wondered, like as far as like you being a woman of trans experience, you have a very accepting family. Well, you know what I mean. Like, so do you think that influences? Does the relationship you have with your family influence like who you are, how you carry yourself?
I think in the beginning it did because my family wasn't accepting. My dad didn't talk to me for. Hi, Papi, I know you're watching. He wasn't accepting me. He didn't talk to me for a very, very long time. My mom didn't like the fact that I changed my name, so family actually told me that I would never be a woman, that I would never be considered a woman, that I wouldn't get a job, that no one would respect me, and I think that influenced me to do it even better. To prove them wrong. Right. I graduated. I went to college. I did everything I wanted, and I'm here. So they pushed me.
Right. So you think like their doubts like pushed you to like keep going and to like emerge into the woman you are today?
Definitely. And then the support of like Talia and all of them. So definitely.
As far as support though, on your end, I see you come up in the church.
Wow, yo. It was to be honest, it was crazy for me. It was really, really like a roller coaster because I love God. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right. I have crazy ways, but I love God. And that's so important that I say that in this conversation, because it's easy to bash, but I have to still show like respect in that regard. I love God. But my family, like, it was a lot. So my coming out story is so unique. And I'm probably going to get killed for telling this story by my sister. So I'll never forget, I was 17 years old. I was at my grandmother's house. My mom was there, my grandmother, and I think my little brother James and my little sister Britt. We were all at the house chilling, having a good time. And then me and my sister got into it. I'm telling you, we could have been arguing about the sky being purple versus blue. It was a petty, petty argument. And so my sister said, that's why you gay. And so, it's like, hey, Brent, I know you watching. So it was like that awkward silence in the room. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, anybody who knows my sister, she loves spilling the tea. Y'all should have her on the show. She don't mind spilling the tea.
And she's petty with it.
And she's very, very petty. Like, very, very, very petty. So she, it was that awkward silence. And she was like, my mom and my grandma like, are you gay? And I don't know. And remind you, this is a question that I've been asked before, and I always say no. My best friends, Jamila and Ladaya, I remember I was in high school, they went through my phone, and they asked me, like, are you gay? And I was like, no, y'all taking it the wrong way. I don't know what came over me, like, I had the courage to actually say yes. And so my mother, we got in the car, she took me to my father's house, and she was like, tell him. So I had to tell, so for me, I had to tell everybody all in one day. I didn't get to rest. I didn't get to get my thoughts together. I had to tell everybody all at one time, but it made me stronger. And so the rest of my family, to be honest, they're way more accepting than I ever expected them to be.
Right.
To be honest, I pushed them away. I stepped away from like my cousins because I felt like they didn't accept me. And in all honesty, they showed me the most love. They showed me the most respect. And that's what made me understand that it's not about like the equality piece of it. It's about respect. Because if you think about it, respect is due to a dog. So that's what did it for me. That was what the driving like factor in me being who I am today is like that coming out experience. That is like my foundation of the strength of who I am today. So I hope that makes sense. But my mom, she wasn't enthused, like she wasn't pleased by it. My grandmother kind of was just like,
that sounds like a grandmother.
Right, because I used to go to church with my grandmother. Like, that was our thing. We went to church on Sunday morning for Bible study and Sunday school. Then we had 10 o'clock service. Then we went right into 11 o'clock service. We did praise and worship. We sung in the choir. I praise dance. Then we was back on Tuesday for choir rehearsal. Back on Wednesday for Bible study. Thursday it was, youth night. Friday we was right back to Friday night service. So I lived my life in church. And so it kind of like, it's difficult. And so I look at so many of these younger like gay people or trans people that are coming out now, and I can't do anything but respect them. Me and Tajay were looking at two boys on Facebook yesterday. One of his friends' brothers and his boyfriend. And they're like 15 years old, just openly gay. Just openly fruitcakes. And I love it. Like, I love
I have a
it.
question though.
Hold on, one side. There's some technical difficulties.
Oh, we having
They're trying to
technical
fix the
We got
camera.
technical difficulties over there.
They're trying to fix the view of the camera.
Give us 2 seconds.
We'll be right back. I can't see everyone. We know there's some difficulties. We apologize.
They can't see Carlos.
We're working on it right now.
Okay. It's in
The
the
Carlos,
camera
you gotta
started
squeeze
Can't
turning.
in.
see, they can't see everyone.
And there's a delay, so they don't know.
It's a hard squeeze in here. I'm sorry, guys. We're trying to make it happen.
We got a big team in here.
Yes, this is the first time we ever had this many guests on the show, so we
So you
trying to
know,
make
Bad
it
Boy has to do
lit.
it
Well,
big.
we appreciate it.
Y'all not see the premiere. Yes, God.
How are people texting me? That's watching. Hey. If you just sent me a text, hey.
I'm hollering.
Oh, they can't send me no text.
We a bad boy and bad boy.
That right.
Too,
How long you- Oh, the people in Rochester want to know how long I'm in town for.
Answer them. Give
Oh
them what
wait,
they
no, we
want.
on live.
What
We on
We on live. I'm gonna be in Rochester for a little bit. Just real
We should go
quick.
get some drinks after this. Real quick.
Of course.
Oh, that's not good.
More
I'm
drinks?
drinking Bel Air.
This is champagne. I'm talking shots.
Oh yeah, we definitely need
I'm
some
with the
shots.
first lady. I'm with the first lady.
Hello.
You said I'm with you.
This
when
is
you
like
out.
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I have to block my husband out and get with my boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Go grab. That's all.
It's okay. It's okay.
Selfie.
Got a little splash.
We having some major
Yeah.
technical
You better
difficulties.
know who know you gonna get
No,
hung up on you.
Just a little minor setback.
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't care. It's a jacket, girl.
See, this is what happened when you new to iPhone. You're still trying to get used to her.
Oh,
That's why you should have stayed
them
with
bubbles do
Android.
turn blue.
That's why you should have stayed
That's
with
not even
Android.
gonna stretch the face.
My bubble do turn blue.
Right.
I'm with it.
Which has my city
I'm with it
blue,
now.
They turn blue.
I'm with it now.
Holler.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, you gave that?
I wasn't gonna say that.
We spilling the tea.
This is
Oh,
We spilling the tea.
Still
Girl, don't spill.
live, guys.
That ain't no tea. Don't listen to that bitter tea.
I holler.
It was pretty sweet.
Mm-mm.
How
That's
many
bitter.
sugars?
No, it was no sugar neither.
We gonna continue on.
See how many sugars?
Give me some sidebar conversation.
Right.
I mean, we still got to keep the viewers a little interested.
Mm-hmm.
They texted me.
This is the commercial break. Look.
Commercial break. That's what it's giving.
By the way, y'all can always come see me at Trez. You know what I'm saying? I'll be
Tell
there.
them about that. Tell them a little bit more about that club.
Oh yeah, Tris is a lit. Y'all can catch me there every weekend. That's the only times I work because that's when I'm
It's
here.
called what? What is it called?
Tris.
Trish.
Yes, Tris. It's 777 Arrow Drive in Buffalo. Yeah, y'all can catch me there.
You know who has a good coming out story?
Who?
Tajay.
I was gonna hit it. That was my next.
Tajay has a good.
Let me also comment on something. I know we lied so they can hear me. You know what else bothers me about our community? That people will praise gay women, but like look at black gay men like a disgusting disgrace.
That's a whole nother
me
topic.
so
That's a whole nother topic.
That gets me
Oh,
so
that's a whole nother topic.
heated. That gets me so heated. How y'all gonna praise two women kissing each other, but if two men kiss each other, it's disgusting? How can love be disgusting to somebody? How?
I think it's because society puts standards on men, on masculinity.
I don't even think it's men. I think it's black men because I see so many white men that are comfortable with being flamboyant and being out there, and I feel like their parents are more accepting.
Are they straight or are they?
No, gay. Like I just feel like gay white men are so much more accepted by their families, by their community than black men, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's a double stigma for black
It is.
men.
I hate
Black men
that.
is a
It
double
has to be
stigma.
like this, like carbon cutout with masculinity, strong black
Right,
man. If you're not that way,
exactly.
then you're just wrong.
Exactly, because you have the
You gotta put something
assumption
heavier.
in general, and then you have the assumption of masculinity within your community. You know, so you're getting it from
There you
two
go,
different
yeah.
sides.
So we're back.
Get
Can y'all hear us?
It's
Let us know if you can hear us.
Very bootleg.
Let us know if you can hear us.
They can hear us.
We live.
But now you're not gonna be in the camera.
They
Oh,
said, let me-
Oh, I'm gonna make some room for me.
Yeah, I see. You seen that too? That's a good point.
What?
Like, Colin. Hey, Colin. He jumped in with his comment about it. He said that like lesbians are like a fetish.
And I hate that.
Right.
Because I don't feel like as far as me being a gay woman, I'm not with women because it's cute. I'm with women because that's what I'm attracted to and that's what I like. And I hate that because, like you said, we're looked at like sex symbols, and that's not what we're not with a woman to be a sex symbol. We're with a woman because we love women, and that's just what it is. Like, I hate that, and I hate the men who see me like, for instance, when I was with my girlfriend, that you just haven't found the right man yet. Like, boy, if you don't get your shrimp up out of here, I don't even like seafood. I don't even like seafood. Back up, like that annoys me.
Right.
Oh, is we back? Is we back? We back.
We just got to squeeze in.
Yeah, sit back there with your power. Get yourself some love in the camera.
They can hear us.
They said they can hear us?
They can't hear us?
Yeah, they can
Okay.
hear
Go
us.
over that a little bit that way, baby.
I can't. Your foot's on there.
Scoot this way?
Yeah, that way.
God damn.
She was pulling this way so that he can get in.
Sorry for the difficulties.
There we
My
go.
landscape decided to not work.
That way.
Yeah, exactly.
So
No, it's just.
we giving very portrait right
I know,
now.
We good.
Right.
They can see us.
Yeah, okay. So now, Tajay, because I want y'all to hear his coming out story. I really, really do. I'm not hosting though. Is that okay with the host?
Go ahead.
Motto and everything. So
That's your piece off first?
I'm not a story.
Sure, mine is very different than a lot of people that I know, and like a lot of stories that I've heard. When I originally came out, it was my very first coming out was actually like 14, but it was amongst my friends. I started high school, and I go into a high school that I felt really accepted at, like very open to, really express who I was. And, my friends accepted it. It was very easy. That made me feel very comfortable. Eventually, later on, towards senior year, I had been in a relationship. Different things had come about that made me feel more comfortable being who I am. Because originally, my plan, and to be completely honest, was to live my life as a heterosexual male and do, in the dark. And that's just, eventually I became more accepted myself.
Right.
So when I got to that point one day, and it's funny because this is the most impersonal way to come out. I texted my mother and I said, X, Y, and Z, this is that. And her reply back was okay.
Sorry.
Hold on, y'all.
Trying to get this camera right.
Technical difficulties.
How we looking on
There we go.
on the live?
Oh, yeah, real good.
It's on a delay, so I can't really see.
How we looking on the live?
You're going way too down.
You just, yours is delayed.
right there.
There we go. No,
Oh,
that's too down.
Lift it up.
Way too down.
Maybe sit it inside.
Because I was
There we
going to
go.
say,
Oh, yeah.
that's
There we
perfect. Wherever you just was. Hold on. Nope. Wherever you just was, it was perfect. Wait.
Right there. Leave it. Don't
Thank
touch
you
it.
guys.
Just leave it. Yeah,
Thank you. I think we good now.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank y'all for being patient.
Hey,
Sorry about that.
she said thanks to you.
So like sending her that text message, she said okay, and it was like okay, we're gonna talk later. Really, the conversation never came back up. So eventually, when I decided to come out to my family in its entirety, it was just really love and openness and acceptance.
That's beautiful.
Right, and I didn't come out in a manner where I made it. It wasn't a thing. I was just like I like men. Like I'm gay, and they were just like okay.
And what about your mother? What about your father?
So my stepfather, extremely accepting. My father was also very accepting. And my father actually came to me about it and, asked about it. And he just said, like, I felt the way that you didn't come to me and, directly tell me because I'm going to love you no matter what. Mm-hmm. So it was just love and open arms from all sides and just from different directions.
Beautiful.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
It was really
That
nice.
really is.
I try to radiate that.
No, it's a lot of compliments. Everyone saying how everyone looks good and they're loving the stories.
Kenya said the family has always been bomb.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my cousin.
Hey, cousin.
Someone said we can't see Carlos, but now we can. How about, what's your story, Carlos?
Oh my. I was actually raised in a.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, I'll call you Carlos. I'm sorry. Santana, I'm sorry.
Actually, I was raised in a church-related family. Actually, my stepfather and my mother are pastors. So it was it's a little different, being on the spotlight with that kind of, happening with your family and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to talk about it now because it's kind of still going through it.
So
I'm still
kind of
fresh.
lingering on
Yeah,
you? Okay.
My family's not accepted to who I am, but they are happy, with what I'm doing. So
Okay,
that
makes sense.
They don't condone it, but they're happy for me. So.
Okay.
Okay.
That's that. Yeah.
Well, we love you, Pa.
Right.
Okay.
And I have a wonderful extended family that accepts me for what
And that's
I am.
what's important in the gay community, because a lot of times we build our own families, our own close-minded families. You know how we do, and it's very important to us.
Right.
You know, we meet very like positive role models, like in our community that help us out. I know I have a daughter. I know you have a mother. Bianca is actually my niece. Whatever, she is out of hand sometimes. She's respectful, but Austin.
Hey, so my coming out story, it was, basically, throughout high school, I was basically hiding my identity. I was hiding myself, just going with, the heterosexuals and just, trying to be down for the straight community, hiding my, inner truth. Didn't really explore being with men until I graduated. Once I graduated, I began to turn the leaf and give up on females. And I just felt like I just wasn't, doing myself any justice, because I felt like I was hiding myself. I felt like it took more work for me to hide myself than to be my real self. And, once I explored that side, I began to get more happy. I began to fall in love. I began to build these relationships with men. And, men that can actually compensate me better than females can.
Right.
So,
This is with compensate.
Compensate.
He said he meant compliment.
The reason why I say compensate is meaning make me feel how I want it, treat me the way I feel like I should be treated as another gay male, because they know what you want, being that they're male. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I was younger, I just remember watching TV and seeing attractive men on the TV screen and biting my tongue so hard from seeing like, damn, he fine. But it's just like.
So do you feel like you were, was it like a genetic thing for you? Were you born gay, or do you think like maybe something kind of struck that nerve?
I definitely feel like I was born, because I didn't know what I was when I was young. I just know that I was attracted to men, but I didn't know at the time, because when you're young, you just parents say, oh, you're confused, you just this, you need to be around your father, you need to be around more men, and they can change you and fix you, I guess.
Right.
But I just felt like it was more work, me hiding myself, than just saying, what, it is what it is, and just being prepared to take whatever blow came my way. If it meant my family disowning me, at the end of the day, I was prepared for the worst. Not saying that happened. I actually happen to have my family support behind me 101% right now, which I'm very blessed, and not many individuals of the LGBT community has behind me.
That's a really interesting story. A really interesting story. Me and Jazzelle have had this conversation on multiple occasions, so it was kind of like having this topic on the show was kind of, it had to happen. And, with you guys being, on so many different levels, it kind of gave different experiences and different stories.
But the consensus in this room is that everybody was was born gay.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody
it
is
does.
born gay.
Okay, so.
I'm not gay.
Yeah, right.
I'm not born gay. I'm not gay. Thank you.
Well, born this way.
I was born this way.
Born
I
this
have
way.
a question.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Am I the only bisexual person in this room?
No.
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 Okay.
I'm strict now.
You strict? And then I have one more question to the guys. Have you guys ever been with a woman?
That's my next question.
I've never had the desire to.
No desire? Okay, so you have.
That shit is
You
so
just didn't like
disgusting.
it?
I didn't like it. I had one sexual
So it's disgusting for you.
It's disgusting.
It's a little icky, yeah. Like, no.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Not in that sense. Not in that sense. Not in that sense. Because I love women. They're amazing. They're amazing. I idolize them.
Just sexually, it's just not there.
Sexually,
Okay.
it's just not.
That makes sense.
It's not a thing.
Okay.
Not a thing.
That was always my
It's not a
question.
thing. It's just not a thing.
Hashtag is not a thing.
See, finally, I got a husband and a boyfriend who don't want nothing but my time and affection.
So you've been with a woman.
I've been with a woman. I had one sexual encounter with a woman.
Was it good?
Did you eat it?
Did you enjoy it?
Hashtag
No.
Hashtag, did you eat it?
Hashtag did you eat it?
You can have fun with that. Take it back from where you got it from, because I don't want no parts. I am gonna say though, it's very amazing to see that we have a group of 6, and everybody feels though they were born this way.
Yes.
Now, with me and Jazzelle having this conversation, it's very controversial with me and her.
So let's hear it.
We go at it.
You bring a lot of controversy.
Let's hear it.
I don't feel I was born gay.
Okay,
now
so
I claim it to its fullest extent, but
I still feel someone that is so pronouncedly gay and someone who is so he cares about his community. He cares about the LGBT community. And for you to say you was influenced, like, you know, you just decided to wake up and I'm gonna suck a dick. I just want to be very like, you know.
My take on it was at a very young age when I, you know, decided that I wanted to be attracted to people. My very first attraction was to a little brown-skinned girl with pretty hair, and I was like in love with her. The first name I knew how to write was hers before my own.
You got her name.
Her name was Brittany.
That's easy.
I remember it. But that was my very
But were
first
you
attraction.
attracted to her? Because I can say I'm attracted to John and not want to have sex with her.
I was very attracted to her, and I was very attracted to her and many women after.
But how old was you though?
Like 6.
I was very young. Yeah,
Now,
very
are you
young.
still attracted to women?
No, at the moment I am still attracted to women, but not sexually.
That's what I'm saying.
I decided when, you know, this was in high school when I decided that I was going to, you know, announce to everyone that I'm picking a side. I never announced that I was bisexual, even though I did like both at one point in time. But I decided that I was going to pick a side and gay was going to be the side. But I feel like throughout my life, I had experiences that kind of pushed me towards that direction.
So so you're speaking from experience instead of like how you truly feel, or is that how it goes?
I think it's with my experience. I feel like it was.
That's understandable.
Experiences.
I was gonna say that's understandable. Then I can understand that. If you're speaking from experience and you're just kind of putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 4, that makes sense.
And that's why we don't get too deep into it, because it's his own experiences and he's entitled to have his own opinions and his own experiences.
Based on his experience, right?
Yeah, right. Because we haven't been through it. We can hear it, but we haven't been through it.
I have dealt with girls before. I have dealt with girls
sexually?
Before. Yeah, sexually.
Hashtag did you eat it?
Did you eat it?
No. Would never. It's like, nah. I'll pass.
I feel bad for them.
But with my experiences,
I feel like
it was okay.
If you ain't eating it, if you ain't doing certain things, then you really was
not
really
right
gay
into it.
all the time.
I don't think it was
you just not.
I don't really think it was a genetic
what it
thing.
was.
My question is more so that.
They said, have you ever been in love with a girl?
I was.
No, you were in
I
love.
I was in love with a girl, and we were in a relationship for over 5 years. On and off, obviously, but I thought that she was going to be the one for me. But at the time, I was dealing with some, you know, private lust situations, and it was mainly because of my experiences growing up. And I feel as though with the experiences that I had, I was kind of like forced into liking, you know, guys.
Okay.
I don't want to really go in depth.
No, I understand exactly.
I gotta say one thing real quick. Shout out to OTS Savage. He said I did love the girl in the front with the jean jacket. Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. That's so sweet.
It's so funny though.
Do you even think Black culture guided your direction?
What is it?
Kwame said, "Do you think Black culture guided your direction?" I don't exactly know what that. I kind of
who's that question geared towards?
Yeah, who's that question for?
Who's it geared towards?
It was
Please.
Giselle speaking the truth. Okay.
I don't feel like the culture really guided my direction. It's just mainly who I am as a person. I feel like I'm a very well-rounded person, but I am Black, I am gay, and I promote that to its fullest. And anybody that looks like me, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to love and want to pass down every aspect of my experience in being Chasmar to everyone that looks like me.
Right.
Let me also say this, because I am a bisexual female, and before I came out, like, saying that I liked women, I was always with men. I've never felt so much love and affection. Oh, yes. I've never felt so much love and affection being a straight woman at the time that I do as a bisexual woman.
Yeah.
Like, being a bisexual woman makes me feel so much love, and just it makes me proud to be a part of the community. Honestly, as crazy as that sounds, like being straight was harder than being a bisexual woman. So when I could relate to, I forget which one of you guys said it, like it was harder to hide myself than to be myself. I understand it, and I felt that because it was like trying to sneak around and have my mom, like at the time I was 14, 15, like, Mom, can you take me to go to the game? And then I'm picking up this girl and she's like, come on now, y'all leaving hearts on each other, Facebook wall. Is you gay? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, girl, I don't care. Y'all go have fun. And I'm just like, okay, like, and then after that, like I just seen so many gay boys, like, even just like with John and with like the whole crew here, like I just get so much love even from them. Like, oh my God, Mickey, I love you. I've loved you since I met you. And it's just like having that around. I always said, like, if I ever really make it like Cardi B level, I want nothing but gay people around me. I want to take all my trans, gay boys, gay girls. I want nothing. Like, I want to be an Amber Rose, basically. You know how Amber Rose has nothing but gay people around her. Right. That's all I want, because I feel like we need to be more in the spotlight. We are probably the coolest people on planet Earth.
And you know, I think the love, she talked a lot about like love and like within the community. I think a lot of times we outpour the love that we wish we would have received.
I agree.
Like from that. It's kind of like that reach for acceptance. Like, so we show each other love and appreciation so that we know, like, I love you. Like, you're not alone in this. You're not walking by yourself. And that's why, like, a lot of times I get so frustrated, like, with the bullshit, because we go through enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not perfect. But like, when you really sit back and take a step back and look things over, like, we go through enough.
Yeah.
Amen.
So it's so important that we do show each other that love.
Yeah.
We do give each other that attention. We do show that appreciation. And most importantly, we support one another.
And we don't do it in a fake manner.
Right.
We do it genuinely.
It has to be genuine. It definitely has to be genuine.
But there is one rule I feel like in the gay community that you never cross.
What's that?
Don't argue with a gay man because he will read you your rights.
There we go.
You know, arguing with a gay man is harder than arguing. I argued with a gay boy one time and he made me feel so doodle. This man read me my rights from top to bottom. He was like, "Hey, your leave out don't even match your weave." I went home and dyed my leave out. My leave out was jive a little like one. It had to be like, it was like one B and it was a B. Like my weave was a one B and my leave out was a B. He said, "I'm not even gonna argue with no bitch who can't even get her weave matching her leave out." I said, I went home and dyed. I went and bought a box of hair dye and dyed my little piece of leave out.
Yeah, we know, baby. Don't come around and we know.
Listen, I was young though. I was like 17. After that,
and even if you don't start trouble with us, we whispering it to our homegirl.
Exactly.
That wig look dry.
After that, when I say after that, I said, "Oh, I will always step out correct as fuck."
Ooh, especially around the queens.
Hello. I said after this, I'd rather fight a bitch and argue with a bitch because ain't no man gonna tell me about myself. Oh no. I said.
For those of you that are watching that are not a part of our community, I don't want you guys to think that, we're bashing or anything like that. We just have fun. We have fun, but, we can be just as shady as the straight crowd.
And that's, amen.
And
the way y'all have fun is the way we have fun. That's it, period.
We all people. We all human.
Amen.
Right. What else we got?
Let's get to this tea. What's that? What else we got?
I want to know about being bisexual. That's when I'm going to come up with Mr. Mickey. I want to know... so do you have other bisexual, do you know bisexual men? Do you know other bisexual people?
I actually know a lot of bisexual men, as crazy as that sounds. And
do you feel like the gay community come for you guys? Because
I do. I get a lot of times people tell me I'm confused. I even dated a female who told me like, "Oh, you're straight," and that. And I'm like, when I got with you, I told you I was bisexual. That doesn't mean that I'm straight. It just means that I've been with men and I've been with women. That has nothing to do with me being straight. Like, I feel like bisexual people get confused for being confused. And I feel like we shouldn't have to explain ourselves. If we want to suck a dick one day and eat a pussy the next, that's nobody's business but ours. Period.
There was a word we learned last season, pansexual.
Pansexual.
Oh, God.
Where
you say
where people... And being pansexual means that you are attracted to the person.
And that's what I am. And that's what I say, because when I meet a person, I know a lot of people don't believe me when I say this. When I meet a person, I don't think about sex. I think about what can this person bring to my life, because I know what I bring to the table. If you're not elevating me, motivating me, or making my pockets fatter, I really don't need you.
Right.
Whether you're a man or a woman.
That's really the definition of pansexual.
I've gotten myself this far, and being 24 years old, I've gotten myself this far. I feel like I'm a boss in my own nature, and if you're not making me more of a boss, or you're not making me want to do better for myself than what I'm already doing, I don't want you, whether you're a man or a woman, and that's just what it is.
That's really what being pansexual is.
Exactly.
It's taking the sex part out of it. Like it doesn't matter what this person is. I like the person. That's really what pansexual is.
So I guess I'm not
That's
bisexual.
the
I'm
difference between pansexual and bisexual.
Right.
Right.
So why you say, oh God?
I said, oh God. No, I said, oh God, because there are a lot of like bad boys, not from like Buffalo or Rochester, but from other areas, and that's specifically how they identify. I'm not gonna call them by name, but like there are a lot of like bad boys that always say like, you know, they're pansexual, and so for me, I always struggle with stuff like that because my mother, I think she's still on the live. It was this,
I love you, Jayla.
It was this girl. It was this girl growing up, and she like would go like in high school. She would go back and forth between guys and girls, and my mother used to be like, "Oh, she's a trisexual. She'll try anything." So, and I mean, to a certain extent, it was kind of true.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is that we get so even within our community. We get so focused on labels, like how do you identify? What are you? L? Are you G? Like what letter are you? Like even when we just like think about like the prep for the show, like you know trying to understand how everybody identifies when it's kind of like people just it's 2017. We live in such a progressive world. I mean we have a horrible ass president, but we live in such a progressive world in every other regard.
Yeah.
That we have to get rid of like the labels, and that's the only way we can get rid of the stigma. You gotta understand what I mean? Like by removing the labels, we get rid of the stigma and everything that comes along with labeling and grouping. It's kind of like when you package things. It's grouped. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. But when we finally start to pull those things out of the package, out of the box, everything is on its own. It's free. So I think that's how we have to be. Like we just gotta let these labels and titles go. And I'm John, you're Chasmar, this is Mickey, and whatever. Like
whatever
it's
we
whatever.
Like, we like.
Yeah.
But we're family.
To be honest with you, I think that we're moving into a world like that because the term that we've been going by for so long, LGBT, is not even the term anymore.
Because every day they add a different letter.
Yeah, we have
it's
queer,
like
we have non-gender conforming, we have people that don't even identify as male or female.
It's non-gender conforming. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Being non-gender conforming.
Yeah. You know, some people
NGC.
rather be he or she or him or they or them.
Because being part of the LGBT community is about being inclusion. Yeah, creating inclusion, creating acceptance, and you're not going to put somebody out because they don't look like this, but they saying they're this. That's not what that's about.
Right.
Sure, that's important for us.
Right.
And that's why that's why it feels like there's so much love because it's about acceptance. That's what the Q is for. You know, it's queer. It just means like weird.
With that being said, within the Black gay community in particular, like, do you feel like sometimes Black gay people can be a little harsh when it comes to those kind of
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially Black gay men. Gay men aren't the biggest trans supporters.
Just only just Black men though.
Black gay men, I can definitely say that Black gay men definitely are very, very stuck in their ways. They're not supportive of anyone else but themselves, especially being a trans woman.
Well, can you think of can you give me experience?
I can.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
To an extent, I can agree with you.
I can agree too. I want to hear what you have to say.
Being in the LGBTQ always stands alone. We've had this conversation plenty of times.
I think it comes from a lack of education.
Because the minute you call me your sister, like I can take this like as one of the girls, I can call one of the boys, one of my brothers. But the minute you have a problem with me, I'm all of a sudden a man in a wig. I'm all of a sudden just doing drag. I'm no longer a woman. It's always, these are the gay boys and that's the tranny side. Like,
I got another question.
Before your question, I think honestly that comes with like going back to like what we allow, and I think for so long we have allowed like bullshit, like as far like even within our community, we have allowed people to say things and do things that we don't necessarily agree with. We have allowed terms that we don't agree with to like go over. We allow people to treat us any kind of way, and then it's like when we finally get fed up, now we want to speak about it. But that behavior that you're speaking of has been acceptable from the very unacceptable, from the very beginning. You gotta understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so that goes back to the respect thing. Like, you have to demand that respect. And you get what I'm saying, bro? Like,
I definitely get what you're saying. I think there's like the personal aspect, but I think that Bianca's making a great point because it has to do with education.
Right. It
has to do with it's a lot of times it's easier as a gay man to pretend to be on the other side and get through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As a trans woman, that's not easy.
I'm
not saying
it's not
super
easy, but it happens. Think about how many trans people, not just women. I don't want to just like single out trans women.
Okay.
Think about how many trans people there are that don't identify as a part of our community. Mm-hmm. Like, they become trans, and we talked about this. Yeah. They become trans,
and they're a straight man now.
I'm a man, period.
Right.
They become trans, I'm a woman, period. And they have no type of identity with our community.
Well, I think
let me comment on one of the comments that we have here.
And again, Kwame,
I was gonna say, I was about to address that.
Again, it is based on my own experience. I'm not saying all black gay men treat trans women. I'm saying in my experience.
Right.
My experience. That speaks for me.
I know that there is a disconnect when it comes to gay men and trans women. I know that we do have some type of a how would you say it, a way that we look at them, and we want them to look a certain way, and we, I don't know, we just have this look when we think of trans and whatever, we give the respect to the ones that look like, Jazzelle or Bianca, and then if you don't really look that way, we kind of shrug our shoulders. Not saying me in particular, but I'm saying in general,
population.
The population,
I agree.
They shrug their shoulders to girls that decide that they want to live ghetto, or they want to live like a little butch queenish, or some give that. But I think that as far as being who you want to be, that comes with it. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because not every girl, if you think about it, not every, biological woman wants to be girly. Not every biological woman, wants to wear sweatpants. We have tomboys. We have people.
Wait. Gay men,
we don't see a Barbie.
In general, they portray like this image of what a woman should look like. You have no say in that.
That
is not your job.
I agree because straight girls can be a tomboy, so why?
Right, because there's some gay men that are very flamboyant. That's not what a basic man look like.
I agree.
That's not your job to say what a woman's
job. I agree. Hold on.
We running out of time, though. We running out of time.
I know. I agree to an extent. If you're telling me, please forgive me, because I have to say this. If you identify as a woman, right, and you were not born in the correct body, right?
Yes, God.
As any individual, man, female, gay, straight, I'm calling it like I see it. Me changing no. Me changing genders and pronouns is a courtesy.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not how that works.
That is a courtesy.
That's not how that
works. No. It's respect. No, hear me. It's respect. Because if I don't know you, I don't want to use you. If I don't know someone, right? Boom, I don't know whoever this person is. And they're saying, I'm a woman, but you look like a man. Your license says M. Your name is male. No. And I'm not being disrespectful.
I know what you're saying. But as we become more of a people, things are changing, and it's not the way it used to be.
And it's respect. Me changing gender and pronouns for someone who doesn't look like you, That's what I'm saying. Is respect and it's a courtesy.
Okay.
Because I don't have to.
Okay,
I'm gonna
leave this out with a very controversial.
So wait,
way
how long
do
do we have? Only an hour?
We only have an hour.
I'm gonna leave this out with a very
We can't
controversial way.
It's juicy, and the viewers is loving it.
They're loving
What is
it.
it? What is it?
I have an engagement I have to attend to. I have to leave out. I'm getting to my affirmation.
They loving
Okay.
it.
So I really want people to. I want people to think of this.
I'm not gonna be
I want
here.
people to
They
think
can
of this because of the way we kind of carried this conversation. Just like the point that John made. You know what I'm saying? Like he felt as though if you're gonna go for that role, really be that role and really be into it. Now, would it be the same for a person? And we're not gonna go into it, but I'm gonna leave everybody with the same thought.
No, we can do that. You know what? We can do the Bad Boys Part 2.
So I want you guys to think about this. I want you guys to think about this.
Think about this.
People that were not biologically, a man or not biologically a woman, but wants to move into that realm because that's how they feel they were born. We have people out here that walk around with their pants hanging down their ass, braids in their hair, chains, all types of stuff, identifying themselves, and we had it. People like to identify themselves as black or African American, but they were born as white or Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not the same thing, but it is.
No, it's not.
It is. It is. So I can dye my hair.
You about to dye my hair. Another argument.
So I can dye my hair.
No.
I can dye my hair.
No.
And I can go into however I want to, and I expect for people to respect me for what I am. But we do have straight women. We do have straight women that do not, y'all know. LGBT black power all day, but we do have straight women that do not like the fact that people would like to identify themselves as something that they are not. Something that I'm born and I have the ovaries and I bleed and I, do all this stuff. They don't respect it fully. So do we respect their opinion or how do we look at that?
I can understand.
So I'm going to leave with that. Okay. I want you guys to think about it. All I
know is this Bad Boy.
Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Can we squeeze one thing in?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This week we will be announcing the Rochester Bad Boys event. Stay tuned. Y'all don't want to miss this.
Let me say one more thing. And be looking out for a Bad Boys joint going on at Tryst in Buffalo because I'm putting it together.
It's going down.
That's right.
We got some big stuff coming up. So y'all got it is a thing.
Hashtag it's a thing.
It's a thing. We got some big stuff coming on. But honestly, I know we gotta go. I know we're running out of time. But sincerely, we appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely.
I told you at the beginning, the platform, we respect it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for having it. And we will be back.
Oh, we will.
We will be back.
Because he ended on a controversial note.
And I also want to announce that this month coming, we have a lot of cancer events going on.
Okay.
One in particular, Monique Chapman.
Yes.
She will be doing the cocktails for cancer on October 29th. So I want you guys to look out for. Huh?
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's why
It
starts tomorrow.
I want you guys to look out for that. I want you guys to look out for that coming also.
I had to mention that.
And also, as Black Crown Entertainment, we pride ourselves on preserving the culture within our community and restoring the unity amongst the LGBTQ plus of color.
And with your help, our efforts can be much easier. Just visit and like Spill the Tea with Chasmar Jazzelle and click on our GoFundMe link.
Any size donation will be greatly appreciated. Even $1 can help us push this train moving.
Without donation right now. I'll put a donation right now.
All right, girl.
Oh, you guys
to make them dance.
Well, this concludes our episode of Spilling the Tea.
Thank you so much, my love.
Absolutely.
I'm Chasmar. This is Jazzelle.
And we are the Bad Boys. Hold on, wait. The first ladies need to get our And I'm the first lady of Buffalo, Mickey Moscato.
And I'm First Lady Bianca.
It's lit.
It's lit.
And baby, sometimes the tea just runneth over.
Hello. Come on, bye.